What is going on, people? Today we're gonna go ahead and finish the last bit of KvK. Now this is after like the first hour or so when everything starts to slow down. You guys know how KvK usually goes. You get a good hour or two depending on the kingdoms you get matched up against, and then after that it kind of dries up. A lot of less people start going into fury, etc. So usually by then you kind of just maybe go for forts, get some points while you're there, etc. So we were in another kingdom and we decided, well, we might as well go ahead and see if we can hit the base out, because their lead in there was fairly strong, but they end up pulling. So I was like, okay, well, I guess we have the base, so you know the base gives a decent amount of points, so we'll just hold it. No big deal, no problem. Now of course, since there was no other targets, we just decided to go ahead and maybe start rallying some other forts, see if they will take those rallies. But as you guys will guess, yeah, they will just go ahead and pull every single time, as they did here again. So I was like, okay, well, if they are gonna just go and pull every single time we rally a fort, well, maybe we'll just start looking into just rallying all the forts and then just taking them, because if they're not gonna take a hit, you know, it is what it is. Now they did rally us back, and unlike them, we will go ahead and take a hit. I mean, it is what it is. They have a pretty decent lead here, Sakurian, and you know, he'll be able to at least rally us, so we'll take the hit. And they did hit us out on that one. Now it was fairly close, like it was super close. So I was like, okay, we'll see. We'll take a hit. So since we took a hit, maybe they'll go ahead and take a hit, and maybe we can go back and forth, and that's how we'll get, both sides can get at least some decent, you know, decent points. At least that's what I thought, right? Because, you know, when it comes to forts, especially when it's KvK, a lot of times you don't really get anything from taking a hit. Whereas if you're the one actually doing the hit, you can counter what they have in there, etc, etc. So, you know, I was like, okay, well, maybe we'll go ahead and the difference there really was the forts. They had the fort boost at the time. I think they were only like -1. So when they hit, they won. But I said, okay, if they didn't have those fort boosts, and in turn it was us that had the fort boost instead in that hit, it might have gone a different way. So, you know, we started going ahead and taking some of the forts, and they pulled every single fort that we rallied. So they went into the strategy of, okay, we're gonna pull every single fort and we're gonna rally it back. Now again, we were like, okay, well, we'll see if we can go ahead and start taking some hits and see, you know, what they send and everything. So the guy comes after me first. Now of course, when that happens, this happens, and they carpet, and they sent the counter to what I had in there. So I was like, are you kidding me? But you know, this game has a way of making sure to mess you up at the perfect time to mess you up. Like, what can you say? So they did send 055 to my 424, so that's pretty much a straight counter. So it was like, okay, by the time I could see what was going on, they were already in the fort. So I went ahead, turned the emulator off, turned it back on, and reloaded the game, and just see if maybe that will help the issue, because that was really unfortunate. Right now, of course, we went ahead and rallied the fort back, and every time we would, they would pull, and we've already taken what, 2 rallies, and we were going to take the 3rd right now. But the thing is that every time they load up a rally, they can always load up the counter, and if we change it, they'll just cancel the rally. So unless they have the counter, they would never launch. So it was like, okay, so if this is the game that they're gonna play, they're just gonna rally and not take any rallies, and then expect us to just stay there whenever they send the counter. Well, we're not gonna play that game. I mean, that's just stupid. So we took 3 hits, and yeah, they didn't do the same. So we said, okay, whatever it is. Of course, they started talking mad junk in global, like, oh, make sure it's on YouTube, you know, the old tired stuff, like, oh, they'll never post their losses, you know, they're always this, like, they just started talking mad crap on global. But we weren't done yet. I mean, we were like, okay, we're not gonna mess around with the forts. Let's just go ahead and see if we can find some other targets. So we found this one, the Julie 777. And finally we were able to get some other targets. So it was like, okay, so since we have some other targets, we can go ahead and not worry about the forts or whatever, because forts are kind of boring in KvK. We'll go ahead and start rallying some other things. So during this whole time, what they were doing is they were going fort by fort with the same one rally lead and rallying, and then when they would hit, we would pull, and then the lead would get his lead back, go to another fort and rally it again. It's like, okay, so now we're in this little cat and mouse game where he's just going fort by fort, like this is Wonder Battles or something. Like, bro, we're gonna pull every single time now. Like, you guys weren't gonna do the same for us. It is what it is. Now this legacy guy here, for some reason, refills the fort, and we're like, okay, wait a minute, there's 800 million might. Okay, now look at this. Now they're saying, so why do you pull now? Like, that's literally what you have been doing the whole time. You have literally not taken one rally, and now they're saying, why you pull now? Are you serious? This is what went on in global chat the whole time. They were just talking all that mess the whole time, and I said absolutely nothing. I did not say one single thing at the beginning. We went ahead and rallied Legacy, and we burned him first go. I sent a Cav rally at him, and of course he took it in range, but that did not matter. Range wedge at that, but again, that didn't matter because when you have only 60 million troops and at his might and his gear, your stats are really not going to be that impressive. So the actual damage wasn't really that impressive, but you know, it felt nice to go ahead and burn them. So we went ahead and got him right before his Fury was about to run out, because remember, we got him as he set Fury 15 minutes, and this was right before he would actually lose Fury. So we were able to get another rally on him, so we got 2 burns in a row. Now unfortunately, since it was only one rally, he was pretty much able to counter both times, but both times he lost a little bit over 2 million. So I'd say we probably did about like 2.5 or so each, somewhere along those lines. So that was pretty decent. Now after that, he was able to get out of Fury, so we went ahead and actually started going for another one. And there's another JNV, Calm as a Bomb. Now, again, since it's only one rally, it's a lot easier to counter. So I went ahead and sent my rally out, but he was able to go ahead and counter it. So it was about the same, like 2 million or so. Now, we were able to find another target here, DL from 522. And the aggregate actually hit first and got a really nice drop. So I was like, oh, nice. Let's just take a look. So we got 3 million kills on that one, and it was basically clearing out whatever range that he had left. So another Cav rally was going to absolutely destroy them. So of course, this is all happening while they were going around, like going fort to fort, resetting them, and then going to another fort, and we were just pulling. It's like, okay, yeah, we moved on. Like, get over it. Look at this hit right here, 10.6 million. Oh my goodness, that was a nasty hit. So of course, during this whole time that we were rallying, okay, they were talking in world chat. They were just talking crap about CAE, specifically me, my YouTube channel. You guys know how it is, right? You just talk a bunch of crap when you have the upper hand, right? Because that's just how it is. But in the meantime, we were over here getting a bunch of kills. They eventually, like after this, they eventually left to another kingdom and left all the forts alone because we were pulling, and they were like, "Oh, you're gonna pull now?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's literally all you did." Look at this monster hit. Oh, that was so nice. That was so freaking nice. So while all of this was happening, right, I was like, okay, I guess at the end of KvK, which is this right here, we're gonna go to their kingdom, since this is where they're probably gonna be doing the rallies, and we're gonna set the rallies not next to the fort, but fairly far away, like a 3 or 4 minute walk. That way they think that they're gonna have free forts, and then we smack them in the mouth right at the end. Like, that was the whole plan from the beginning. We did not rally the base because the base would be absolutely useless to us. We wanted the forts because that we can actually use that. So we went ahead and we started the rallies. We got some timers and we set from far away. Now, some of us sent 208, some of us sent mix, whatever we wanted, right? Like, it didn't matter. Now, at this point, I was just trying to time it to where I was going to hit. So if you take a look at this, I was 1 second early. And usually that would be bad. But since it looks like they're only going to be the ones that to rally, as long as they get in there, I really did not mind. So I had a Blackwing ready, but I was like, okay, if the timing is right, if they hit first, I'm going to go ahead and use this Blackwing as payback. So now everybody had their walks, everybody had everything good to go. Now one thing happened here that was really interesting. I had a full rally, but what ended up happening was some people were already in this kingdom and their fury or whatever it's called, the battle timer ran out, and they got ported out of the kingdom in fury back to our regular kingdom. So I actually marched with less troops. So whenever you're doing end of KvK and rallies and stuff like that, make sure that you reset that battle timer. That's 4 hours when you go to another kingdom, because that cost us quite a bit. Some rallies walked at 3.8, some were at 3.6, because there was a couple of people that it happened to, but we were able to catch it on time to at least make a little bit of a difference and have other people fill. But yeah, one got ported as we were walking, so it kind of sucked. So of course we are already walking, we're on our way, and as you can see, some JNV members are already kind of flying by, and I was like, okay, as long as everybody gets their timing right. Some people were a second behind, so I was like, okay, just use one carpet with like 5 seconds to go or something and you should be good. And as long as the rally lead had at least one carpet, we'll just let them do it, not nobody else, because you guys know whenever you let carpets for other people, they'll just, man, they'll find a way to mess it up. So I was like, okay, the rally leads are the ones that are going to use their own carpets and everybody else should be good. Okay, I'm going to be a second early, but as long as they get in there early, I'm going to use this Blackwing. So the whole plan was set up. I don't know if they knew that we had rally set. I don't think they did. But you know, I was like, okay, work or not, we're going to get these hits in. So some of us were already walking. As you can tell, there's like a 3-second difference between all three. So some of them are a little early, some of them are right on time, some were a little late. So as long as the rally lead knew what to do in order to hit, it was no big deal. So here we go. This is going to be right at the end. And I'm just contemplating, okay, do I hit this Blackwing? Like, how is everybody's timer doing? Looks like Monster had to port in closer because their rally was not full and they had to reset, because remember, some people got ported out. So they had enough time to actually get closer and reset the rally and get full. So that worked out in our advantage. The only thing is that when you're next to a fort, they can frost wing you and mess up your timing. Whereas if I'm walking and they didn't even know that I set a rally, they would never be able to frost wing me. So I can always time it. That's one of the benefits of setting a rally at the end of KvK from far away and timing your walk to the lock time, because they can't really frost wing you to mess you up or any other shenanigans. So as you can tell, Tedness is walking, and I'm like, okay, he's gonna get there 6 seconds early, so I'm for sure gonna be hitting. And this guy, listen, he's not even a champion player, so I was like, oh my god, this guy, it's gonna hurt, my boy. So he had about 9 seconds to take a look at what I was sending and to counter it. Now, of course, we started hitting everywhere, and it started teleporting me throughout the map and everything. But yeah, we were able to secure 5 out of the 6 forts, and we were able to hit right at the end. So we got the important ones, in my opinion, which is the attack ones. Those are obviously the really good ones. And then we got range HP and cavalry HP, which also pretty damn good ones, especially since we like our calves. Now I'm taking a look at some of the reports here, right? And unfortunately, Mosta went like a 947, I believe, and right into a 208. So you know, and then look at this nasty hit. Now they took it in infantry wedge, which was interesting because he had plenty of time to actually take a look at what I was sending. So infantry wedge is curious. If anything, it probably should have been range wedge, but who knows, maybe his stuff froze just like mine and he didn't really have time. But look at that Blackwing. Oh, that Blackwing felt good. I was like, oh, so when you can't pull, all of a sudden the tides turn. Oh, when you can't just rely on one rally lead to do everything, all of a sudden it really didn't look so good. And then look at this. So glad to see CAE are just a bunch of pussies. Like, what? We just rallied the fort for the end of KvK. What are you talking about? Like, this is what was going on the day before, right? Like, all of this. Like, what do you mean a bunch of we rallied the fort like everyone does? Are you... And then of course, right? And then of course, I finally say something. Because this, like, the whole day, I did not write a thing in global chat. And then I finally was like, okay, look. This Blackwing was specifically for you guys. For all that crap that y'all talked the day before. Don't you hate people that act like victims when they're the ones that were instigating the whole thing? Like, they're like, oh my god, why would you do that? Yo, we're talking shit the whole day, the day before. All of a sudden, we're the bad ones? Bro, that is literally cause and effect. If they weren't talking all that crap the day before, we might have gone to another kingdom. Who knows? Who knows? But they decided to do all of that talking, especially their leader talking about put that on YouTube. I was like, okay, I will. Now take a look at look how close this one was. Literally by a couple of troops. That is literally by the definition of winning by a hair. Like. And then look at Spartans. He said that he wanted to do a Blackwing, but he didn't get it off in time. Imagine if that was also a Blackwing, bro. They would have literally hated our guts if that was also a Blackwing. Oh my goodness. So, but of course, you know, now that the all the trash talking is not the best for them, now they're gonna play victim. You know, that's how it is. Vanessa saying yum, thanks for the kills. Like, are you saying like the kills that you gave us, or I'm confused. And then look at this. Glad to know you stooped to a low level after getting your feeling hurt. What are they talking? We literally, this Kira person is confused because we literally rallied the fort at the end. Like, wow, you folks are so hurt. I'm confused. If you're the one that talks for the whole day and then you get destroyed at the end, why are you blaming us? What sense does that make? Look at this. Then they start lying, right? Look what their leader says. Some of CAE members already applied to JNV. No loyalty, it seems. Oh, maybe because of all the lost rallies yesterday. You see? This is exactly what was going on yesterday. By the way, that was a straight lie. There ain't nobody applying to JNV, Vanessa. You know that for a damn fact. And if they were, please take them. We don't need them. Like, bro, what is wrong with these people? Like, this is the straight definition of starting a mess and then acting like the victim when you get smacked in the face. Like, what? Come on now. We didn't do anything that other guilds don't do. We rallied the fort at the end of KvK. That I added a little bit of a Blackwing in there, you know, it is what it is. But people do that all the time too. So I'm confused, JNV. You straight up got me a little confused. So listen, don't start stuff you can't finish. You know what I mean? And look at this, Trini Mom. Wow, and to think I watch your channel. Time for me to unsubscribe. Listen, Trini Mom, unsubscribe. Because if your guild starts talking shit the day before, and then all of a sudden you're blaming me, like what kind of logic is that, right? What kind of logic is that? Unfortunately, I didn't get my last message off, so that kind of blows. I did post it in their guild board, but they immediately deleted it. They immediately deleted it. But like I said there, JMV, listen, maybe in your next migration, maybe we'll take a look at where you go. And, you know, we can be in the same kingdom and do KvK from the same kingdom. That'd be fun too. Don't worry, maybe we'll meet in the same kingdom. This game has a weird way of working out that way, so just keep that in mind. We'll keep that in mind. But either way, Guild Wars went pretty well. We got 1.2 billion points, got number 1. Kingdom 1 and everything like that, so it was a good day. But yeah, CE is recruiting. LOF is also recruiting. But yeah, guys, don't be one of those people that talk shit because somebody's a YouTuber and then plays victim at the end. It's not a good look.